Alright friends, tonight's conversation centers on bread. Not the contemporary kind that deflates when you breathe on it, but the ancient medieval kind. The bread so solid, so packed with nutrients, and so brutally straightforward, it might function as both a weapon and sustenance. Now, lower the lights, perhaps let the ceiling fan create that cozy background ambience. And let's journey together into tonight's exploration. To comprehend why medieval bread functioned like a nutritional Avengers team, you have to grasp one fundamental reality. Medieval populations didn't merely consume bread. They forged binding partnerships with it. Bread wasn't just a food item. Bread was their entire identity. If you journeyed backward through time and inquired of a medieval farmer, "What's your preferred food?" they'd respond, "Bread." If you questioned, "What's your least preferred food?" they'd answer, "Bread." But much older. This substance represented roughly 70% of a commoner's daily caloric intake. Currently, that would constitute a serious health red flag. Back then it was simply routine. Breakfast included bread, lunch featured additional bread. Supper consisted of bread dunked in something vaguely fluid, possibly a soup, perhaps just water that had apparently surrendered. And dessert meant a smaller portion of bread you pretended tasted special. But here's the interesting part. This wasn't unfortunate. Medieval bread proved genuinely excellent. Thick, satisfying, bursting with nutritional value, and heavy enough to technically register as a blunt weapon. One loaf could sustain a labor through cultivating fields, managing animals, fixing structures, covering 10 miles uphill through snow, and protecting the village from someone known as Thorvald the cattle thief. Contemporary bread barely sustains you through responding to emails. Bread existed universally. Common folk consumed it. Aristocracy consumed it. Religious monks consumed it while apparently not contemplating ale. Even soldiers carried hardtack, essentially a bread variant so strong it could withstand armed conflict, massive floods, and presumably a modest asteroid impact. Certainly, not all bread was equivalent. Privileged classes enjoyed tender, airy, cream-filled pastries. Ordinary citizens consumed bread so thick it disrespected the laws of physics. Yet despite textural variation, from ethereal cloud to compressed burden, bread existed everywhere. The remarkable thing, medieval people unintentionally engineered a miracle food. They lacked physicians, dietetic specialists, or internet wellness gurus explaining digestive wellness. Their priorities stayed straightforward. Could this keep me nourished? Might this endure throughout winter? Could I consume this without my relatives questioning my mental state? Bread satisfied all three questions. It preserved effortlessly, transported conveniently, rarely spoiled, and was almost impossible to contaminate yourself with. A remarkable achievement in medieval eating compared to the rest of the culinary landscape. Spoiled meats, vegetables that matured just once yearly, and water that might eliminate you. Bread was the dependable companion everyone clung to. It wasn't simply food. It represented endurance. It was tactic. It was medieval civilization baked into a rounded mass. To appreciate why medieval bread operated as a nutritional wonder, you must examine the grain substance. Because medieval grain powder wasn't resembling the delicate, bleached, fluffy substance found in modern supermarkets. The substance so over-refined it practically completes your income taxes automatically. Nope. Medieval grain flour was stone-milled, resilient, unrefined, and nutritionally potent. It didn't merely sit within your bread, it participated. Stone grinding meant everything within the grain got pulverized simultaneously. The outer layers, the nucleus, the central section, the elements, plus anything else the grindstone decided to incorporate. The outcome was a flour so abundant in nutritional content, minerals, and inherent lipids that contemporary nutritional scientists would experience emotional responses while contemporary personalities would instantly attempt transforming it into an expensive wellness ritual. Relative to medieval flour, current flour is simply unfortunate. Contemporary flour is processed, bleached, enriched, and subsequently handled like it needs covert protection. Following the elimination of nearly all nutritional elements, corporations introduce synthetic nutrients and proclaim it has been fortified. It's equivalent to destroying your house then celebrating that you installed fresh hardware. Medieval flour, conversely, remained whole in all respects. Due to the fact that stone mills show no favoritism, they grind everything whether it desires it or not. This indicated medieval bread possessed fiber for the intestines, metal compounds for vigor, mineral content for physical activity, protective elements for body defenses, necessary lipids for power, and minute rock fragments for character. Certainly, technically medieval populations absorbed trace quantities of minerals in rock form, however that simply signaled their bread included complementary elements plus an unanticipated crunchy texture. That's what you refer to as great value. Additionally, because it came from complete grain, medieval bread genuinely satisfied your hunger. Not temporarily satisfied until your next intense desire strikes. Rather, satisfied until the evening arrived and your neighbor requisitioned your beast of burden kind of complete. Regular people could accomplish lengthy workdays since their bread provided genuine endurance, not the sugar-fueled chaos medieval bread sends you through. Complete grain flour additionally had taste. Deep, natural, roasted, historic taste. The flavor that whispers, "I existed before your nation existed." Contemporary flour tastes like sadness in comparison. Therefore, indeed, medieval flour was coarse. It was rough. It was sufficiently abrasive to make your mouth muscles lodge a grievance, yet it was genuine. It was wholesome. And it represented one factor making medieval bread superior to your current loaf. If you've ever had contemporary bread and felt like your body immediately registered a complaint within your intestines, rest assured. The issue isn't your system, it's the grain. Contemporary wheat has been chosen, cross-pollinated, rearranged chromosomally, scientifically encouraged, and forcefully prepared like a grain professional training for competition. It develops rapidly, grows substantially, and fundamentally declares, "Observe my fluffiness." Meanwhile, your digestive system sits wondering, what exactly is this, and why is this inside me? Medieval populations didn't encounter this complication. Their grain wasn't a laboratory-engineered creation resulting from scientific farming aspirations. It was ancient, mellow, respectful, the kind of grain that remains silently in the background, respects personal space, and avoids distorting your physiological functions. Spelt, an ancient wheat, these represented medieval champions. Grains so archaic and pure, they probably referred to you as youngster. Historical grains contained reduced gluten, superior nutritional profiles, and fewer shocks. They didn't swell excessively or behave erratically. They remained constant, dependable, comparable to that reliable companion who consistently arrives when promised and never introduces emotional disorder. Consuming these grains didn't create bloating, weakness, or that existential unease modern bread sometimes generates after 2 mouthfuls. Contemporary wheat, conversely, exists for one objective: manufacturing volume. It generates substantial quantities, massive loaves, and substantial digestive grievances. This variant possesses more gluten than a Renaissance feast. Medieval populations would view a contemporary bread loaf and inquire, the reason it resembles it contains nothing but emptiness and deceptions? Historical grains additionally thrived in terrain that showed no compassion. Challenging, barren, demanding ground-produced grain possessing genuine resilience, genuine foundation. Contemporary wheat breaks emotionally if it doesn't get flawless moisture levels and ideal conditions. Medieval wheat thrived anywhere resembling a determined plant possessing commitment. And when ground into bread, historical grains created products containing character, substantial, gratifying, and sufficiently thick to potentially function as home security if hurled with precision. These weren't delicate, puffy, cloud-resembling sections. These represented sustenance constructed from durability that proclaimed, "You're appreciated." Medieval populations thrived on this commodity. Their guts embraced it. Their physical forms ran on it. Their teeth occasionally objected, yet even they modified. Contemporary bread exhausts you. Medieval bread equipped you to grapple with livestock, cultivate ground, and still protest about levies afterward. If you've ever announced, "I'm producing sourdough myself," accept congratulations. You've effectively recreated what medieval populations executed purely out of requirement. Absolutely nothing posted online, and definitely no reassurance from internet sites. Medieval producers didn't pick sourdough due to its seeming primitive or handcrafted. They picked it since it was their only choice available. Quick-rise yeast simply didn't appear. Containers of instant yeast didn't populate medieval shops resembling magical containers of bread confidence. Rather, medieval populations depended entirely on unrestricted fermentation, basically nature's in control, and we're expecting it cooperates willingly. Contained in each medieval starter was a microscopic gathering of unrestricted microbes and producing organisms. The primordial wellness cultures long preceding wellness product manufacturers persuaded individuals to consume bacteria-filled milk tablets at morning. These creatures consumed grain-based substance and fluid, multiplied like rumor inside a small locality, and altered the mixture into something lively, effervescent, and prepared for baking. This leisurely, natural fermentation represented a biological marvel disguised as a mundane task. Throughout the evening while the mixture rested for extended periods or throughout the entire night, the organisms labored, degrading complicated proteins, decreasing harshness, neutralizing mineral-blocking substances, and improving vitamin accessibility. Essentially, they did the intestinal heavy work before the bread ever contacted your mouth. All that remained was consuming it without damaging a tooth. Evaluate that to bread today, which frequently rises in a hurried 45 minutes, saturated with yeast pressures that operate more rapidly than a medieval revenue official. There's no decompression, no microbial recovery facility, no helpful organisms cooperating. Simply velocity, convenience, and the inevitable intestinal result of performing everything too hastily, comparable to fast meals consuming a psychology textbook. Medieval fermented bread wasn't simply milder on your digestive system. It was positively beneficial. The organisms generated acidity, offering the bread's slight sour taste and supporting organic conservation. That indicates medieval packages didn't deteriorate within 24 hours like contemporary store bread, which goes stale quicker than a political guarantee. Furthermore, this fermentation method produced bread featuring nuanced, intricate taste, natural, acidic, faintly sour, and profoundly gratifying. Similar to the bread's equivalent of a knowledgeable spiritual instructor who imparts wisdom and periodically pilfers beverages. Uncontrolled fermentation equally indicated each region possessed its own distinct bread character influenced by regional microbes. Your bread essentially reflected your location's essence. Medieval populations didn't grasp what wellness cultures were, yet they consumed them routinely without needing gaudy packaging or commercials featuring a woman performing yoga. Their bread breathed, and their digestive tract experienced gratitude. If you've ever consumed contemporary bread and pondered, the reason my intestines feel like they're reenacting a medieval attack, the answer is straightforward. Contemporary bread barely emerges before getting shoved into the oven. Currently, bread rises in under 60 minutes, occasionally under 20. That's not fermentation. That's bread rushing. It's the nutritional equivalent of studying hastily and praying the instructor doesn't request genuine knowledge. Medieval bread, conversely, received time. Luxurious relaxation spa-level time. 8, 12, occasionally 20 hours of gradual fermenting, effervescing, resting, plus pondering existence. This wasn't hasty bread. This was foundation that possessed spiritual awakening. The research, something medieval populations benefited without comprehending, proves magnificent. Throughout extensive fermentation, chemical processes and helpful organisms degrade complicated proteins into smaller bits. They additionally consume problematic carbohydrates like complicated sugars that contemporary guts thoroughly hate. Mineral-blocking substances, the barrier preventing nutrient utilization, get neutralized. Essentially, the foundation becomes more and more digestible, more beneficial, and less inclined to stage an uprising within your system. Basically, medieval bread got partially processed. Not in a peculiar manner, in a beneficial, your intestines hardly have to perform work, manner. By the instant it reached your digestive tract, it was fundamentally waving a little sign that proclaimed, "Take it simple. I've previously handled it." Contemporary bread conveys the opposite. It looks at your digestive system and says, "You're on yourself, friend." Then dashes away. You can picture the distinction in what individuals encountered. Medieval peasants weren't sitting about gripping their bellies following consuming bread. They weren't researching wheat sensitivity indications. They weren't having conversations regarding fermented bread versus non-gluten alternatives next to flames lit by candles. They ate their bread, came back to tending fields, gathering hay bales, and executing 12-hour workdays of effort that would deliver contemporary workplace individuals directly to benefits. The extended fermentation additionally strengthened taste. Medieval bread communicated sophisticated, sour, roasted, profound, resembling the type of bread that sits you down, meets your pupils, plus shares the narrative of navigating the year of 14-something. Contemporary bread resembles nothing. Gentle, suspiciously sugary nothing. And here's the amusing component. Still, despite the absurd stakes, the Vestals preserved that inferno alight for beyond 1,000 seasons through conflicts, sicknesses, leadership challenges, plus whatever abnormality Caligula decided to exhibit that particular afternoon. The inferno continued since half-dozen frightened priestesses stayed tremendously inspired to prevent disappointing a spirit with a background of destructive vengeance. Previously a Vestal virgin was authorized proximity to the holy inferno. She had to endure 10 complete years of preparation. The teepee didn't merely employ bison hides, it utilized them intelligently. If the bison hide exterior was the teepee's hefty protective layer, then the inner coating was the concealed engineering achievement most ignore. Initially, it seems straightforward. Merely an additional layer of hide or material fixed on the interior surfaces. However, actually, this coating changed the teepee from excellent shelter into how can this be hotter than a colonial dwelling constructed by a group of individuals with equipment and optimism. The coating generated a dual-layer protection arrangement. This wasn't random assumption. It represented purposeful arrangement, perfected through ages. Plus, everything presented possibility for disaster if you positioned yourself slightly incorrectly. The program encompassed memorizing holy chants without mispronouncing something, comprehending purification procedures incorporating moisture, heat, fumes, seeds, or sometimes all concurrently. Studying symbols since absolutely no one desires misconstruing a creature positioning itself incorrectly beside a carved representation. Managing the divine implements similar to brooms, sharpened objects, serving implements, plus whatever the spirits apparently wanted. How to keep expression blank even though a government official starts ranting regarding celestial bodies repeatedly. Additionally, they learned reading plus composition. Rather than dissipating into the cold or gathering at the apex of the teepee, that heated air was steered downward throughout the inner, keeping a steady and pleasant temperature inside. The consequence was a thermal distribution mechanism so successful that even terrible winter conditions outside couldn't penetrate the interior. The rear coating furthermore functions significantly regarding vapor circulation. Vapors from the fundamental fire didn't drift haphazardly throughout the base, causing everyone to wheeze as if performing in a 1800s disease dramatization. Rather, the lining channeled the vapor skyward toward the opening for circulation, where movable panels permitted it to escape. The arrangement maintained equilibrium. Rome's esteem, Vesta's vengeance, plus, naturally, responsibility for catastrophes outside her power. Preparation was rigid. Mistakes underwent immediate correction. Additionally, if a girl showed too much enthusiasm, too much distraction, plus excessive attention toward anything outside the sanctuary, she underwent careful instruction via conversations, holy acts, plus occasionally ominous quiet that she was inhabiting a sacred existence. Plus, sacred existences did not include enjoyable activities. When the 10 seasons of instruction terminated, the youngsters weren't merely prepared. They stayed trained, refined into the perfect stability of tranquility, accuracy, plus internal dread. Prepared or otherwise, they approached the succeeding phase, complete duties, whereby missteps possessed implications, plus achievement signified remaining completely hidden. Following 10 extended periods of education, practicing holy chants, controlling their urge to express frustration regarding symbol interpretations, plus fighting every desire to move around, a Vestal Virgin ultimately started her secondary phase, the decade of complete official position. This embodied the occasion where everything mattered. Absolutely no longer I'm inexperienced here. Absolutely no longer whoops, I overlooked. This constituted the period where mistakes triggered worldwide implications, or minimum extremely theatrical Roman excessive responses.
Ordinary people experienced genuine hunger. Community organizations started fragmenting. Here lay the critical understanding Cleopatra internalized. Populations forget legitimacy rapidly when lacking sustenance. Dynasty antiquity becomes meaningless. Hallowed customs become meaningless. When populations cannot feed offspring, governmental authority means nothing. She comprehended, possibly at 15 or 16, something numerous authorities never realize. Governance constitutes fundamentally an agreement. The regime delivers balance and access to food. Populations reciprocally acknowledge authority, violate the agreement through insufficient supplies, and balance disintegrates with astonishing velocity.
You encounter issues like salt-based preservative substance, mineral enhancement, lipid compounds, chemical boosters, azotic carbonamide, which by the way gets utilized in gymnasium flooring. Genuinely, there's a genuine likelihood your bread plus your workout area distribute an element. Medieval commoners might have been freezing, filthy, plus smelling faintly of livestock, yet a minimum of their bread didn't get constructed from athletic equipment. These chemicals get inserted for one reason, obviously. They render bread tender, flexible, sugary, moist, taller, compliant, extra shelf durable, plus less inclined to crumble below stress. Bread manufacturing firms approach foundation similar to a misbehaved pet requiring discipline. Picture observing something dismembering upright while preserving a serene appearance, knowing when you even flinch, individuals would claim, the deities disapproved. Guaranteeing cleanliness, definitely not merely physical cleanliness, holy cleanliness. Their feelings, movements, clothing, standing position, breathing, plus likely their psychological processing required being spotless. Should a priestess appear exhausted, conversations circulated. When she expelled air, governmental areas panicked, performing Rome's moving favorable energy. Should a priestess inadvertently contact a condemned individual proceeding toward public execution, even unintentionally, he underwent immediate liberation.
Cleopatra understood something numerous administrators overlooked. Rome represented no unified force. It constituted no consistent organism. Rome characterized a governing arrangement featuring competing factions, determined commanders, and interior disagreements. She examined Rome's governance with comparable intensity to her languages, which political figures held authority, which commanders impressed followers, which factions gained strength, which declined. She comprehended that if she someday possessed command, Egypt's perseverance would depend on navigating Rome's interior conflicts, manipulating various factions against each competing group. She recognized that directly fighting Rome constituted foolishness that would culminate in annexation and administration, yet positioning Egypt as strategically valuable, as something some Roman factions would discover more advantageous as a cooperative state than as annexed property, might maintain Egyptian freedom while appearing compliant. This method became her strategy developing in youth. Not direct confrontation with Rome, but transformation into someone Rome's very groups recognized as essential, someone demonstrating sufficient political knowledge, someone Rome would discover more valuable as a coordinate than as vanquished territory. Upon Ptolemy Xi's passing, his record identified both Cleopatra and her more junior brother, Ptolemy XIII, as governing authorities. She was roughly 21 years. Her brother constituted a youth encircled by determined operators unwilling to permit an intelligent, self-directed female to possess real authority. The recognized pattern: those professing to assist the king pursued command. The court initiated delicate erasure. Cleopatra comprehended immediately. She understood that once sidelined, regaining authority will become nearly unattainable. She made a choice reforming her biography. She departed Alexandria. She transported herself into areas maintaining her backing. She initiated organizing. She established agreements. She acquired military assistance. She arranged not merely reinstatement, but triumph absolute sufficient that her command would be unquestionable.
This represented the occasion whenever she ultimately got to communicate something like, "Do not go near the holy inferno." Avoid handling that, it's older compared to your predecessors. Do not breathe excessively forcefully throughout ceremonial privileges. Deep within, she probably appreciated this element. Fixing errors. Mistakes throughout instruction typically stayed typical till a mature priestess manifested with that expression. That stare, the appearance indicating, "I've maintained this blaze intact for 27 seasons, plus I will not permit you to destroy my background." Educating ritual awareness. Definitely not the modern variety including stones plus deep breathing, the historical Roman variety, which involved internalizing 50 procedural moves whilst carrying seed exactly at upper arm position. Sharing surviving wisdom. These weren't recorded anyplace, however all mature priestesses maintained a psychological collection including tips similar to, never depend on a spiritual guide claiming this will go rapidly. Whenever you notice atmospheric noise throughout a rite, act like it's favorable. Whenever a authority's requests if the spirits feel irritated, the proper reaction is perpetually rejection. Giving the anxiety previously everything, mature priestesses instructed the apprenticeships the key insight all priestess ultimately discovered. You remain vital. You remain honored. Plus you're one inadvertently whispered word away from something terrible. When this phase terminated, a priestess had fulfilled her divine occupation. She functioned as pupil, worker, spiritual professional, plus ultimately educator. A complete arc formed throughout heat, control, plus 3 decades of absolutely zero romantic difficulties. For all the tension, dread, plus threat regarding fire terminating, the Vestal priestesses appreciated freedoms creating the remaining Rome's females appear like additional personalities in their personal tales. Have you inhabited a contemporary apartment created by somebody who apparently despises inhabitants? You'll value how effectively the interior of a teepee handled its room. Absolutely nothing was arbitrary. Nothing was discarded into a corner simply because all possessed an application, and that application usually sustained thermal comfort, unity, or continuity, preferably all simultaneously. The interior setup obeyed a functional reasoning created through ages. Bedding spots distributed throughout the perimeter wherever hides and furs defended the terrain from the bitter atmosphere outside. This band of bedding gave both comfort and a physical divider, offering each occupant individual area in spite of the transparent architectural layout. Each medieval foundation starter represented a microscopic civilization of organisms plus fungi, effervescing resembling it was paying occupancy. These societies weren't cleaned or separated. They lived, chaotic, plus remarkably helpful to the digestive system. Whenever medieval populations ate their bread, they consumed active creatures that damaged meals, equilibrated intestinal function, plus controlled damaging microbes. They weren't eating wellness cultures. They ingested genuine existence sprinkled onto generations of milling heritage. Contemporary bread, conversely, stays sterile, processed, comically void. Most supermarket packages possess the bacterial variety of a desert rock formation.
The Ptolemies recruited mediators having essentially limitless spending capacity, who journeyed throughout the Mediterranean seeking unusual writings. These mediators oppose each other and versus independent collectors, increasing expenditures yet guaranteeing that unusual works traveled toward Alexandria. Moreover, Alexandria's importance as a commercial location signified that humans and items perpetually appeared from distant places. Authorities brought documents as diplomatic gestures. Dealers brought comprehension alongside material items. The settlement turned into an organic center for intellectual items. The outcome constituted gathering at remarkable extent. Countless thousands of rolled papyri, perhaps nearing 1 million.
Also, legislation acknowledged them. A priestess's communication inside tribunal carried remarkable gravity. Not since she stayed infallible, yet since Rome presumed the deity Vesta herself directed her authenticity. Absolutely no anxiety, obviously, basically the belief that every phrase you communicated reverberated divine accuracy. Yet this type of capability appeared alongside an unmistakable shadow. The Vestals underwent adoration since they stayed vital, plus they remained vital since Rome thought catastrophe lurked approximately every occasion. A priestess's privilege stayed balanced through the realization that she existed continuously, a solitary incorrectly shown expression away from transforming into an omen. Whenever it ultimately decayed, it expanded safe, naturally occurring molds, certainly not the poisonous industrial variety that builds on compounds preserved packages currently. Medieval populations merely dried aged bread into crunchy pieces plus dunked it within liquid till it became consumable once again. Waste not, want not, particularly whenever your bread performs better at improving your digestive wellness compared to your medical professional performs. Therefore, indeed, medieval bread demonstrated rough, organic, plus occasionally granular in unexpected places, yet your digestive system appreciated it. Contemporary bread, your digestive system tolerates it equally to medieval peasants' permitted frosty conditions. If you've previously wondered precisely how medieval populations controlled dragging rock, swinging tools, hauling creatures, ascending fortress walls, digging channels, separating grain, operating ground, fighting battles, plus traveling everywhere minus disintegrating resembling dried plant, the solution proves remarkably uncomplicated. Bread. Certainly not contemporary bread that might have incapacitated him through lunch, yet medieval bread, the dietary equivalent of operating your system with a gradual consuming furnace rather than a birthday candle. Medieval peasants weren't eating delicate pastries or handcrafted pastries. They consumed thick, entire grain packages that evaluated close to a contemporary heavy dumbbell. One component might maintain your satisfaction for hours. A pair of components could operate you completely via one complete week of bodily effort. Several components plus you essentially became unbeatable unless the nearby noble elevated assessments once again. Bread received engineered through environmental conditions plus chance, certainly not factories. It distributed difficult carbohydrates, the kind that discharge vitality gradually plus continuously, certainly not the kind that propels your glucose into orbit prior to collapsing you into a noon tiredness. Integrated with every one of those nutrients, healthful lipids through the kernel center, fermentation improved nutrition plus fiber, medieval bread represented a whole meal concealed as a package. This indicated medieval tissues got sustained by a regular stream of genuine vitality. Peasants didn't manage the evening collapse exactly where you examine your laptop begging for forgiveness. They weren't munching every hour. They didn't hunger for baked treats, cold beverages, plus anything sprinkled featuring cinnamon plus regret. Their dietary intake maintained them mobile since it experience been created intentionally for persistence. Even spiritual guides whom expended significant periods throughout the daytime in quiet reflection plus resting, based on the monastery, ingested bread as a fundamental nutrition. Spiritual residents' bread might demonstrate remarkably simple, yet it maintained adequate nutrition to maintain extended intervals of appeal to divinity, yard function, plus brightening documents featuring disappointed celestial figures. Military personnel, meanwhile, essentially existed on packages. Militaries moved through loaves offering the caloric density required to walk multiple kilometers in protective gear while carrying implements substantial sufficient to ruin your backbone permanently. Bread confirmed so crucial to the medieval physical body that shortages produced certainly not simply appetite yet complete uprisings. Whenever you imagine contemporary populations grow frustrated minus carbohydrates, medieval populations organized transformations. It wasn't merely nutrition. It was physical vitality. It constructed muscle mass, recovered vitality, plus maintained populations alive whenever winters demonstrated severe plus creature flesh stayed uncommon. Medieval bread didn't baby you, it equipped you. Contemporary bread makes you fatigued. Medieval bread made you hazardous. Bread might have been the celebrity of the medieval eating plan, yet it didn't operate independently. It included a helper group, a straightforward, occasionally uncertain, yet remarkably productive collection that transformed bread through fundamental carbohydrates straight into a nutritional miracle. Medieval populations weren't matching their bread with ultra-processed deli materials plus sweetened oils with substances lists appearing resembling mysterious incantations. Absolutely no, They consumed bread the fashion nature wanted with straightforward meals that genuinely felt meaningful. Take dairy, for instance. Medieval dairy wasn't the bright artificial obstruction you find in contemporary economical retailers. It represented genuine dairy, fermented, sour, strong, powerful, sufficient to shove you rearward whenever you weren't ready. It distributed creature matter, lipids, plus vigor. Integrated with entire grain-processed dairy bread, it generated a nutrition mix powerful sufficient to enable a commoner to traverse 15 miles previously breakfast minus protesting. Contemporaries moan whenever the internet goes down for 10 minutes. Afterward, there's the fluid foundation. Medieval fluid foundation wasn't the gentle reduced minerals water wellness personalities sip throughout cleansing intervals. It symbolized whatever liquid you obtained from boiling creatures' backbones, vegetables, spices, plus something more not secured down. It featured hefty parts, salty taste, plus typically the primarily heated item throughout chilly climate. Bread immersed into medieval fluid foundations softened into a heated meal resembling substance that satisfied tummies plus restored mindset. It exemplified the medieval edition of convenience nutrition, excluding all of the philosophical guilt. Legumes signified yet another typical partner. Abundant within creature components plus fiber, legumes created bread much more useful as a regular necessity. Combined, they developed a nutrition pairing. Therefore prosperous that complete populations endured totally on it. Picture explaining to a medieval peasant that modern humanity deliberately prevents carbs plus beans. They'd believe you've got cursed. Even beverage performed a part. Definitely, beverage. Certainly not the contemporary extremely fragrant bubbly water discussion, yet reduced alcohol, nutrient-thick medieval beverage created utilizing barley plus fungus. It confirmed more secure to ingest compared to fluid, delivered vitality, plus matched so inherently featuring bread that spiritual guides practically created hymns about it. Bread additionally beverage exemplified the medieval edition of peanut butter additionally jelly, besides it maintained you nourished plus somewhat intoxicated. Additionally, overlooked couldn't possibly be onions, greenery, plus anything cyclical vegetables controlled the environment. These straightforward improvements developed an equilibrated eating plan that enhanced bread's advantages. Absolutely nothing flashy, absolutely nothing fake, simply genuine meals completing genuine labor. Medieval bread thrived since it wasn't struggling towards ultra-refined creature items, sugary treatments, plus preservation compounds. It symbolized a segment, a straightforward, unintentional, magnificently accidental nutrition masterpiece. Bread failed to represent a solitary celebrity. It exemplified the commander of a properly developed medieval meals collection. Certainly, one of the greatest explanations medieval bread stayed so excellent nutritionally, intestinally, emotionally is the fact that producing it comprised a genuine ordeal. Absolutely nothing within medieval baking confirmed speedy, simple, convenient, plus created for individuals whom valued spare period. There existed no bread devices, absolutely nothing automated, absolutely nothing pre-divided grain in beautiful packages. Bread symbolized an action, a lifestyle, a responsibility compared simply to marriage plus endurance via regular pestilence. Initially, you experienced to grind the grain. This indicated dragging containers of grains to a mill that typically got handled by a nobility who asked you regarding the honor of employing his grinding equipment. Rock that originated significantly more than civilization plus definitely was most likely frightening. Grinding stayed necessary. You couldn't shortcut. Whenever you attempted to mill grain within your residence, the authority might locate you, reprimand you, plus direct somebody to steal your equipment resembling a medieval recuperation specialist. Therefore peasants dragged to the mill, stopped hanging around, compensated the price, plus examined as the grain transformed into rough, diet-rich flour, if it preferred to otherwise. Subsequently arrived palm kneading for extended intervals utilizing muscular tissues most populations didn't know they maintained. Medieval foundation wasn't tender plus caring. It opposed. Producing bread fundamentally symbolized muscular tissue exertion in the outdoors, with the exclusive satisfaction representing insufficient starvation. Subsequent, you experienced to maintain the foundation start. This animate, bubble generating being asked continuous interest. Feed it, mix it, express encouragement, unintentionally disregard it regarding 7 days, plus it transformed into something which might lawfully be regarded as dangerous. Yet whenever managed appropriately, it compensated creators featuring excellently fermented foundation that experienced comparable to historical knowledge plus moderate sourness. Immediately after combining came the extended fermentation, extensive, prolonged suspense whilst the foundation gradually shifted. Individuals these days phone this sluggish residing. Medieval populations termed it, definitely we don't possess an alternative. Additionally, ultimately the cooking. Employing a heater utilizing actual trees. Clearing embers to the part, positioning the foundation mindfully on the warm rock, wishing it wouldn't scorch, collapse, plus get robbed through a hound. Each one of this perseverance suggested a thing significant. Nobody decreased corners. Certainly not since they remained ethically greater, yet since shortcuts didn't remain obtainable. Each period, beginning with milling to blending to fermenting to cooking, developed bread which remained thick, savory, nutrient-thick, plus normally alive with beneficial organisms. Contemporary bread demonstrates speedy since it might be. Medieval bread showed exceptional since it experienced to stay that way. Whenever your existence is dependent on a package, you tend to create it accurately. Whenever medieval bread appears similar to a miracle food plus contemporary bread appears similar to a digestive prank, the genuine wrongdoer symbolizes the grain by itself. Presently, grain represents certainly not the pleasant, natural, somewhat awkward grain your forefathers recognized. Nope, contemporary grain shows the overperformer of the farming business. Selectively chosen to be greater, more quickly, more powerful, more tender, plus greatly more clenching with the gluten substance. It's grain using efficiency medications, plus your digestive tract remains the one paying the expenses. Historical grain varieties, just like an outdated selection, spelt, plus an extra historical grain demonstrated easy dispositions. They matured modestly. They performed predictably. They failed to work to control every region resembling botanical oppressors. Their gluten composition was easy plus controllable, powerful sufficient to make bread climb, yet certainly not so hostile that your digestive tract needed psychological support afterward. Medieval production staff harvested these grains since that is everything the environment permitted. They failed to become consumed with produced quantities plus output metrics. They basically attempted to endure starvation. Get into contemporary grain. Throughout the preceding century, researchers featuring great motives, to be honest, customized grain which might withstand severe settings, generate tremendous quantities, fight off pests, plus generate tender, airy packages that transform purchasers into emotional individuals. Performing this, they unintentionally produced a grain that seems to be virtually unfamiliar to the digestive system. Presently, grain features considerably more gluten compared to historical varieties since gluten produces bread tender, bendy, plus worthy of online pictures. Unfortunately, it additionally creates many digestive systems upset, confused, otherwise. Yet gluten simply displays the exclusive issue. Contemporary grain features much less nutrient content since commercial production removes ground of minerals more quickly compared to medieval peasants removed regions of plant life. The grain expands more quickly yet absorbs much less. It appears amazing, yet resembling a lot of amazing things, it's nutritionally bashful. Medieval milling makes problems a whole lot worse. Even though grain initiates with nutrition, the majority get removed throughout processing. Subsequently, providers dust manufactured nutrition returning in plus joyfully proclaim the grain has been reinforced as if that terminates the wrongdoing. Whenever medieval populations ingested bread, their digestive systems detected it instantly. Indeed, the sensory system mentioned, the food. Whenever you take in contemporary bread, your intestines reacts resembling it just got an unexpected correspondence, dubious, troubled, plus currently experiencing regret available. Presently, grain failed to be dangerous. It's merely excessively current for its personal benefit. It was designed regarding bulk manufacturing, certainly not digestive wellness. Historical grain received designed through the environment, probability, plus thousands of years of production staff which experienced zero hint they had been producing the excellent carbohydrate. Your forefathers failed to prevent gluten. Gluten prevented them. Certainly, one of the greatest distinctions between medieval bread plus contemporary bread stays uncomplicated. Medieval bread realized specifically where it originated from. It experienced origins, a character, a feeling of area. Contemporary bread experiences a manufacturing establishment. Medieval bread remained a village item designed by regional earth, conditions, grain kind, fermentation design, heat resource kind, plus the overall mindset of the baker that morning. Contemporary bread gets designed through moving belts, plus corporate metrics. Let's begin with seasonality. Medieval populations didn't prepare utilizing whatever happens to be available. Their bread relied completely throughout the collection interval. She might manage belongings, finalize contracts, supervise finances, purchase estates, offer estates, prosecute individuals, plus most shockingly, exist devoid of a masculine caretaker monitoring the woman's each action. Inside a civilization whereby even prosperous ladies wanted authorization toward whisper approximately marketplaces, previous priestesses embodied roaming irregularities regarding independence. Numerous Romans pursued previous priestesses regarding marriage, believing their wholesomeness plus divine relationship delivered favorable fortune. It originated through regions a couple of kilometers out, regions you might reference, protest regarding, plus sometimes damn whenever the collection seemed discouraging. Your bread failed to get constructed through unknown, mechanically merged grain created to generate identical packages through Delhi to Detroit. It experienced resemblance towards your geographic area since it stayed your geographic area. Subsequently, there's visibility. Medieval bread failed to act resembling something otherwise. If it seemed thick, it possessed it. Whenever it demonstrated sour, it acknowledged it. Visualize turning out to be unrestricted following 3 decades plus, subsequently promptly surrendering that independence considering Publius desires somebody toward oversee his residence. Certainly not thank you. All those which performed Mary often battled modifying. Existence beyond the house of the priestesses remained loud, unpredictable, plus filled regarding individuals which didn't comprehend fundamental ceremonial etiquette. Typical residents created problems regularly, contacting holy items incorrectly, overlooking symbols, declining toward preserve pure ideas throughout gatherings. A previous priestess could observe one household problem plus nearly automatically execute a cleansing rite regarding impulse. Certain inhabitants presumed which even in pension, a priestess continued transporting a piece regarding the holy inferno inside the woman's. And possibly she performed. Yet right now, ultimately, this embodied her very own. For virtually 1,000 seasons, the priestesses existed at the middle regarding Rome's psychological character. Throughout civil arguments, assassinations, plagues, authorities' scandals, plus authorities that truly should have been overseen, the priestesses preserved the blaze burning. They embodied the peaceful continual inside a civilization which hardly ever prevented hollering. Yet anything inside Rome, even the greatest holy customs, ultimately met history's most beloved activity, transformation. It failed to arrive inside joyful plastic covers featuring wellness proclamations published inside intense fonts. It merely sustained individuals effectively, completely, plus minus creating digestive eruptions. Every element collaborated with the system. Complete grains, chemical procedures, living organisms, extended fermentation, plus nutrient-wealthy flour provided medieval intestines specifically what they required, despite the fact that hardly anybody recognized the technological foundation. Contemporary bread, conversely, features develop into an expert with disguise. It seems helpful. It smells reassuring. It divisions wonderfully. The teepee furthermore succeeded since it wasn't basically a framework. It combined throughout a way of presence. It maintained flexibility, unity, periodic motion, searching phases, environment variation, and spiritual routines. A residence wasn't merely a spot regarding repose. It permitted households and complete communities to observe the periods of the property. Throughout winter tightened its control, the teepee didn't oppose the atmosphere. It outsmarted it. Contemporary engineers examining practical architecture frequently locate themselves calmly impressed. Bread performed effectively, so effectively which they constructed their complete eating plan onto it. Bread maintained these folks powerful sufficient to produce ground, build, bring, battle, plus endure winters which would drive modern people to curl up into a sphere inside the cooking area. Contemporary bread, conversely, regularly leaves folks inflated, tired, mentally foggy, otherwise irritable, as though the package is personally offended you selected to take in it. Medieval bread symbolized a companion inside endurance. Contemporary bread functions much more resembling a well-meaning yet profoundly inadequate flatmate. This specific fails to suggest bread provides completely let down us completely. The priestesses, previously untouchable numbers regarding wholesomeness plus standing, right now discovered themselves relics regarding a period disappearing. Certain underwent consumed regarding aristocratic households, additional quietly resigned, plus a handful continued inside Rome because residing reminders regarding a period disappearing. The residents regarding the priestesses descended regarding non-use, the wonderful courtyard ultimately completing regarding scrap plus quiet. Carved representations fractured, fountains dried out, the marble chambers which previously reverberated alongside whispered hopes plus ceremonial footsteps transformed into destruction, strangely maintained greater compared to numerous Roman relationships. Cleopatra VII failed to enter a tranquil empire which accepted the girl featuring fanfare plus flower petals. She emerged within 69 BC into the notoriously chaotic Ptolemaic Empire, an imperial household therefore renowned for family battling which the most secure position was possibly beyond the residence. Her patriarch, Ptolemy XII, recognized to his critics since the performer since clearly managing Egypt failed to demonstrate sufficient theatrical. He expended much more moment bankrupting Egypt compared to managing it. Additionally, he adored Mediterranean tradition, distrusted just about anyone, plus experienced a great deal of debt to Rome which he might equally possess positioned a available notice on the historic collection. Yet beneath which rough, arranged exterior, medieval presence pulsed regarding activities, tournaments, plus actual difficulties which designed character just like much like confidence plus feudal responsibility. Recreation, inside medieval interpretation, remained definitely not an extravagance. This embodied a psychological influence, a technique regarding preserving arrangement, reinforcing physiques, developing partnerships, plus assessing bravery inside a planet whereby power plus respect remained resources as genuine like precious metal. Exactly what created medieval pastimes exclusive remained precisely how thoroughly they represented category. The noble plus the farming employee might equally become health. Yet, the descriptions regarding activity existed inside fully various worlds. Regarding commoners, everyday effort currently required actual capability. Farming, decreasing timber, having drinking water, plus protecting creatures forged organic strength. So whenever commoners collected regarding recreation, they preferred raucous network-focused actions, fighting inside areas soon after the period, pursuing each other inside activities resembling tag, plus forcing a crude leather-based item across the town eco-friendly. Their activities stayed unprompted, loud, plus typically disorganized, a pleasant escape through perform which rarely stopped just before sundown. Whenever Cleopatra VII went into the girl early on teenage wise, the girl experienced previously learned the greater important expertise to just about any Ptolemaic royal, remaining living extended adequate to achieve maturity. The residents inside Alexandria might have looked relaxed through the outside. Gleaming articles, collections, fragrance drifting via bright areas, yet inside it performed together with the vitality of the competitive tank disguised being a family member's reunion. Each and every sibling symbolized a possible opposition. Each and every consultant experienced a concealed goal, plus every feast might, technically, end up being the final. This behavior, known as Bali, remained thought to reinforce the connections separating individuals plus the divine. The flesh subsequently underwent cooked throughout an exposed thermal source, its scent combining having pine plus smoke, completing the lengthy residence having an abundance which momentarily eliminated the harshness outside. The feast that succeeded remained communal, all peace regarding swine holding symbolic significance. Consuming it implied joining regarding Freya's advantage, contributing regarding the confidence that territories might flourish again plus that the atmosphere might reclaim its capability. Offspring underwent instructed which the swine's phantom might rush via the heavens, directing the coming illumination returning toward the globe regarding humans. Accordingly, the swine elimination wasn't merely a habit. It embodied an agreement, a guarantee which the Vikings might persist throughout the maximum darkness regarding the period plus a prayer which the heavenly beings reciprocally might compensate their commitment having abundance whenever period returned. If the swine elimination represented the holy substance regarding Yule, then me embodied the treasure of the occasion. Regarding the Viking creativity, me didn't exist merely as a beverage. Regarding these, the activity stayed connected toward style. Falconry presents, equipped archery, plus accuracy photos throughout court gatherings. Regardless regarding standing, archery symbolized control plus management. Each chance remained a test regarding stability, breathing, the woman's personal worries. Toward take a arc remained toward experience severity, gusts, the woman's personal courage. Plus regarding medieval individuals, delivering the arrow cleanly directly into the mark wasn't merely success. This embodied the representation regarding personality inside a planet whereby capability plus ability designed survival. Whenever archery displayed control plus self-discipline, fighting revealed this natural, unfiltered capability regarding medieval presence. This had been the activity regarding farm personnel, generator employees, shepherd youngsters, plus travelers. The test regarding muscles, stability, plus determined persistence. Fighting required absolutely no devices, absolutely no unique instruction soil, plus respectable subject matter. All this required had been available room, a couple of ready opponents, plus the group thrilled regarding the opposition. Inside locations throughout Europe, fighting suits had been element regarding celebrations, marketplaces, plus celebration occasion gatherings. Soon after extended intervals regarding work, males questioned each other inside bouts which mixed pleasant competition with actual physical struggle. Efforts varied. A container regarding alcohol, a loaf regarding bakery, the kiss through the woman offering away ribbons, plus just the respect regarding becoming the powerful one inside the town. These types of competitions weren't fully lawless. The majority of implemented unspoken guidelines, for instance simply no hitting, absolutely no damaging, absolutely no eating. You triumphed whenever you pressed the opposition to the floor plus pressured the woman's directly into distribution. The reminder which beneath the style regarding chivalry, medieval warfare might turn into brutally personal throughout European countries, local types emerged. Cornish fighting having the distinctive jackets, Breton fighting having capturing areas, plus Scandinavian types rooted inside Viking custom. These types of variants shown neighborhood tradition. Yet the center regarding the activity continued the same. A couple of individuals confirming the woman's capability plus bravery via absolute physical activity. Inside the planet devoid of fitness centers, fighting was the medieval identical regarding strength training, martial arts, plus friendly amusement rolled directly into one. The girl brains had been the girl best advantage. Plus in contrast to the girl patriarch, the girl recognized in which Rome's energy failed to are the thing you begged. It had been a thing you discussed. The girl recognized in which endurance within this brand new globe suggested talking Rome's vocabulary, knowing the ambitions, plus, whenever required, outsmarting the idea minus actually appearing to be able to defy the idea. Yet, Rome's existence failed to merely form diplomacy. It reshaped Egypt's internal governmental policies. Just about any noble wishing to be able to dethrone the ruler visited operating to be able to Roman clients. Accidents had been typical, damaged noses, sprained legs, fractured ribs. However, therefore had been fun, hollering, plus the kind regarding collective pleasure which produced the entire town experience alive. In spite of the mayhem, football performed the crucial friendly function. This bonded neighbors, launched stresses, plus reinforced neighborhood personality. Your triumph designed satisfaction. The decrease designed exaggerated grievances, jokes, plus claims regarding successful following season. Definitely not every person cherished the activity, yet. Medieval emperors consistently attempted to outlaw football, contacting this disruptive, fierce, plus the interruption via archery exercise. Yet the bans hardly ever performed. Individuals cherished this a lot of. Football belonged toward these people, definitely not the actual throne. Regarding commoners which labored continuously below authorities plus periods, medieval football provided anything important. 90 minutes regarding unrestrained independence, muddy camaraderie, plus the possibility to experience powerful inside the planet whereby these people seldom arranged capability. Whenever commoners fought inside areas plus chased dirty sports, nobles experienced athletics which appeared much more like theatrical shows regarding style, refinement, plus expert. Even though the girl continued inside Egypt, although the girl patriarch groaned inside Rome, the girl seasoned straight away the girl balance regarding becoming section of the girl empire which might disappear right away. Each and every notice through international locations transported gossip. Would certainly Rome restore Ptolemy XII? Would certainly these people affix Egypt? Would certainly Berenice IV remove the girl's siblings? Cleopatra existed suspended among expectation, concern, plus technique. Yet chaos failed to break the girl. It actually clarified the girl goal. It had been the girl minute the girl recognized in which aristocracy had not been safety. It had been the girl focus on. Woodlands had been split up directly into privileges, plus simply the actual nobility might search particular property plus particular pets. A commoner captured poaching might encounter severe consequence, fines, jail, plus also mutilation inside the cruelest locations. This exclusivity produced this hunt definitely not merely a recreation, yet the obvious reminder regarding energy. This pets, this property, this tools, plus perhaps the clothes. Wealthily decorated tunics, feathered hats, polished footwear, all of suggested advantage. Each hawking plus searching furthermore offered practical armed service reasons. Manufactured wooden entertainment regarding offspring, comfortable mittens, contemporary equipment, adornments, alternatively straightforward appeals regarding security. Periodically a carefully created cutting tool, alternatively a portion regarding jewelry exchanged palm, yet the feeling mattered considerably greater versus the item. Gifts embodied appreciation, commitment, plus the affirmation regarding ties which the group required regarding survival. It's evident this strategy regarding giving remains considerably much healthier versus what we perform presently. Vikings weren't attempting regarding astounding. They attempted regarding reinforcing interactions. Regarding knights, tournaments weren't merely enjoyment. These people had been possibilities toward acquire recognition, money, plus the admiration regarding respectable areas. Regarding commoners, these people had been amazing shows regarding energy plus performance, the particular nearest the majority of individuals might actually arrive at observing accurate chivalry fight. This tournament started lengthy just before this initial lance splintered. Several weeks regarding preparing changed areas directly into vivid arenas embellished having vivid pennants, household heraldry, plus vibrant tents. Retailers appeared earlier, offering roasted meat, sugary pastries, ribbons inside residence shades, plus crude mementos. Success delivered enormous incentive. This prosperous knight might earn this tools, equine, plus ransom regarding the particular defeated opposition, obtaining money which might elevate this standing significantly. Even more important had been the particular admiration regarding respectable viewers, particularly females which approved tokens regarding devotion, for instance embroidered scarves plus blooms, which knights proudly shone regarding the woman's headgear. Yet tournaments weren't just regarding this elite. Commoners cherished these, hollering frantically, putting wagers, plus retelling every single strike regarding several weeks afterward. These kinds of activities offered while psychological training, friendly connection plus often refined governmental maneuvering based on which had been enjoying. Chess released toward Europe via the Islamic planet quickly turned into this preferred regarding this nobility. This ratings regarding pawns, knights, bishops, plus queens shown this really composition regarding feudal community, producing this recreation experience symbolic plus tactical. Toward participate in chess effectively designed showing knowledge, persistence, plus preparation, advantages admired inside court existence. A noble which perfected this panel might affect authorities plus females together with this cleverness equally as through riding plus sword. Inside the girl will, this individual called Cleopatra plus the girl more youthful brother, Ptolemy 13, because the girl combined leaders associated with Egypt. The girl teenage girl plus a good even more youthful kid had been today likely to guide one of the greatest essential kingdoms inside the Mediterranean. Precisely what may probably go incorrect with regard to Cleopatra. The girl announcement had been each liberating plus terrifying. The girl ultimately experienced the girl expert the girl experienced educated with regard to. But that will expert arrived covered inside danger. Since the season gradually launched its icy hold plus the times started increasing regarding orientation toward season, the character regarding Yule continued. Regarding the Vikings, the celebration didn't represent merely an instant regarding festivity. This embodied a viewpoint regarding what this suggested regarding persist. What stands out is I believe this represents the reason Yule persists captivating individuals presently. This hadn't remained created regarding wealth, alternatively abundance. This remained created regarding scarcity, power, plus the straightforward individual requirement regarding producing illumination throughout gloomy intervals. What renders Yule particularly engaging involves the way this progressed. The girl showed up by yourself about coins, the girl vibrant transfer in which signaled to be able to Egypt plus Rome similarly, which often sibling kept actual expert. The girl tackled representatives straight without having filtering the girl instructions via the girl brother. The girl fulfilled international ambassadors by themselves, captivating these phones the girl vocabularies, plus the girl started fixing Egypt's funds, decreasing taxation inside a few areas, plus steadying grain submission. The girl earlier activities uncovered the girl facts in which residents insiders previously suspected. Cleopatra had not been likely to end up being the girl's ceremonial co-ruler. The persistence regarding these customs indicates the way profoundly Yule connected with the rhythms regarding individual presence. On the foundation, this had been regarding hope, something all community comprehends. The Vikings didn't commemorate since existence had been straightforward. They commemorated since existence had been demanding. Additionally, regarding myself, this represents the majority impressive variety regarding commemoration. This stays bold. This stays passionate. This symbolizes regarding joy isn't the opposition regarding difficulty. This embodies the way individuals battle versus this. These types of celebrations changed cities, communities, plus also castle courtyards directly into lively areas whereby interpersonal teams merged, competitions flared, plus this rhythms regarding perform provided method toward fun, sound, plus athletic screen. Recreation throughout celebrations had deeper meaning compared to amusement exclusively. This reinforced personality, cured stresses, plus advised individuals these people belonged regarding anything greater compared to the woman's selves. Celebrations had been connected toward this farming plus spiritual calendar. The girl decisive strike arrived whenever Pothinus engineered the girl complete governmental coup. Cleopatra, nonetheless the girl teenage years yet previously as well powerful to be able to eliminate without having jeopardizing general outrage, had been forced from the girl Alexandria. Encircled through opponents, deprived of the girl management capabilities, plus practically escorted to the girl advantage of the girl kingdom, the girl experienced the girl selection. Go plus vanish like many deposed aristocrats prior to the girl, or even battle. Cleopatra selected to be able to battle. The girl slipped from the girl funding together with the little team associated with committed supporters plus journeyed eastern to the girl deserts close to Pelusium. Right now the girl started event the girl military. Actually inside exile, the girl wielded appeal resembling the girl weapon. Tribal innovators, mercenaries, plus regional authorities pledged assistance. The girl protected resources, provides, plus political contacts. The girl arranged certainly not just the girl come back, yet the girl triumphant one. But Cleopatra's teenage exile had been much more compared to the girl logistical problem. It had been the girl minute. The girl recognized what sort of leader the girl might need to end up being. Certainly not merely wise, certainly not merely diplomatic. The girl might require the girl vibrant sufficient to be able to defy the girl household, clever sufficient to be able to outmaneuver Rome, plus resilient sufficient to be able to increase through just about any downfall. The girl teenage YRS finished certainly not having a girl coronation, yet having the girl rebellion in the girl title, plus the girl wager that will modify the girl entire world. Because the girl ready to be able to recover Egypt, the girl brand new energy inserted the girl area. Julius Caesar. Regarding seconds during the period of tiredness, standing, plus hardship vanished, changed by party, neighborhood, plus the particular discussed pleasure regarding recreation. Babylon had been a town regarding heat, dirt, plus restless ambition. The particular great phase regarding a new emperor who experienced invested his entire presence pursuing this panorama. Inside earlier June regarding 323 BCE, the residence Nabopolassar, typically vibrant having troops, scribes, plus envoys, dropped directly into the strange, major quiet. Phrase experience distribute like flames. Alexander, this undefeated overall which experienced vanquished property from Greece toward this sides regarding India, had been seriously sick. These people had not been thinking about currently being certainly one of the girl best capabilities. They will planned to grow to be the girl gravitational middle regarding individual believed. Plus therefore, inside the girl middle associated with it is glowing brand new metropolis, these people created the girl collection. Yet collection barely will it credit. It had been certainly not the girl peaceful space together with scrolls gathering dirt. It had been the girl colossal equipment with regard to taking in knowledge. The girl Tomies purchased that each and every deliver getting into Alexandria's marina end up being looked plus just about any scrolls discovered. Viewpoint, poemry, arithmetic, medication, design had been considered the girl collection. The girl originals had been maintained. Duplicates had been came back. Alexandria essentially created condition given the girl intellectual larceny plus do it together with a lot of style in which the girl sleep on the planet nearly recognized the girl audacity. Inside the girl collection surfaces, understanding had been alive. 1000s associated with researchers existed, functioned, challenged, suggested, plus sometimes irritated the girl additional inside the girl areas. These people originated from Greece, Egypt, Persia, Judea, Upper Africa, plus past. Attracted through the girl guarantee of countless scrolls plus imperial wages. The girl collection's goal had been certainly not basically to be able to obtain knowledge, however to be able to improve the item, groups of expertise, problem the item, plus increase the item. These people desired to be able to realize the way the particular paradise transferred, the way the girl human being physique operated, the way dialects linked, plus the reason why the girl entire world performed because it performed. In a lot of methods, it had been the girl initially analysis college actually produced. Strolling via the girl surfaces intended observing ideas inside 10 foreign languages, smelling inkjet drying out about brand new scrolls, plus witnessing breakthroughs in which might form generations. Additionally regarding myself, this quantity regarding sociable testing might generate many contemporary folks insane. Yet regarding medieval protectors, this symbolized straightforwardly component regarding the employment. Tension continuously increased whenever nobles approached. Their gathering created bottlenecks, animals increased, helpers panicked, plus everybody, plus the protectors, remained anticipated regarding revealing flawless techniques. A single collapse, a single remark, perhaps an unintentional postponement might result regarding penalty. The gate residence furthermore remained whereby information showed up initially. Everyone using the reputation with regard to brilliance, poets, mathematicians, astronomers, doctors, linguists, discovered the girl method to Alexandria sooner or even later on, attracted through the girl guarantee associated with imperial assistance plus unlimited intellectual playgrounds. The girl collection provided exactly what zero additional organization might, period, tools, plus independence through the girl mundane problems associated with endurance. Researchers right here had been given, accommodated, plus compensated to be able to believe. Picture the girl vitality inside all those surfaces. Quarrels shattered the girl's silence, resembling super. Alexander's military had been made up of toughened experts whom experienced implemented the woman's from Macedon towards the ends regarding the globe. These people experienced observed the woman's injured, bleeding, furious, fun, yet never ever powerless. Right now these people waited inside limited groups close to this residence doors, whispering regarding symbols. Several stated the spirits had been punishing the woman's regarding burning up Pepololis. Additional believed this individual experienced been poisoned via envious authorities. A couple of dared towards anticipate this individual might surge once more, restored via the divine spirits this individual therefore frequently invoked. Inside his or her area, this reality had been significantly less complex plus significantly more terrible. Alexander's capability had been disappearing. His/her hunger vanished. His/her breathing decreased shallow. His/her fever increased sufficient towards help to make the woman's delirious, muttering 50% developed programs regarding potential strategies. This individual attempted to remain once more, asking this individual required towards examine his or her delivers preparing, yet his or her hip and legs buckled, plus just this fast reflexes regarding his or her safeguards avoided the woman's via slipping. Through the seventh time, this individual might no more talk obviously. Neglect the examination, plus you might locate yourself regarding garbage cleaning responsibility, alternatively even worse, regarding the evening change. In spite of the monotony, patrols offered protectors a special comprehension regarding the globe beyond the fortress. They recognized the property, the visitor designs, the climate switches. They remained the initially regarding think if anything thought strange. Plus, throughout medieval periods, instinct represented 50% the employment. A protector regarding patrols necessary to combine techniques having instinct, examining a geography whereby danger might assemble calmly regarding purely beyond the trees. Ultimately, surface patrols remained the fortress's center regarding motion. Persistent, conscious, plus completely vital. If times patrols had been tedious, evening watches had been downright harsh. When the atmosphere went past the ridges plus the fortress surrendered regarding darkness, all modified. The atmosphere increased cooler, sounds continued additional, plus all shadow appeared regarding contain a risk. This reveals that this represented the majority mentally demanding element regarding a protector's presence. Humans basically aren't created regarding consciousness throughout absolute darkness. Yet, medieval protectors had been anticipated regarding executing perfectly. With regard to right now, the girl collection prospered, yet the girl seed products associated with the girl devastation had been previously getting grew basically beyond the girl shining surfaces. Whenever the girl collection associated with Alexandria needed your girl collection associated with brilliance, the girl scholars which arranged the item had been the girl minds working such as flawlessly tuned data files. The girl greatest regarding these kinds of had been Callimachus, the girl writer-researcher which mind performed such as the girl completely calibrated cataloging program. Below the girl assistants, the girl collection created a thing groundbreaking. Yet another team blamed Meleaga, whom experienced just lately clashed having pedicus over armed service promotions. However, additional murmured regarding hexes, prophecies, plus divine jealousy which the spirits experienced ultimately grown uninterested in the fatal guy proclaiming to become the woman similar. Having simply no obvious info, uncertainty stuffed this breaks inside this residence areas. This buddies collected at Alexander's bedside inside converts. These people viewed the woman's emperor battle towards breathe, his or her epidermis flushed having fever. A few held his or her palm, a few knelt inside hope, plus a few quietly determined the woman's following actions. Regarding ages they will experienced implemented one guy's unbreakable determination. Right now which determination flickered similar to the light inside the breeze, plus not one person understood just what would take place whenever this ultimately went away. The particular Macedonian troops camped beyond experienced restless. These people required towards discover the woman's emperor. These people needed promises this individual might retrieve. These people needed someone, anybody, towards inform these people just what would take place following. Devoid of Alexander, these people had been leaderless guys a large number regarding kilometers through residents, encircled via vanquished individuals that might surge anytime. This strain had been heavy sufficient towards ignite physical violence. This buddies, typically therefore determined inside fight, right now experienced paralyzed. Devoid of Alexander's tone guiding these people had been decreased towards stressed shadows. Empires might be vanquished via militaries, yet these people might crumble equally effortlessly from anxiety. Inside individuals' suffocating times, while this residence trembled via uncertainty, everybody recognized this reality these people dared definitely not talk about. This destiny regarding the planet depended on one passing guy. As being the Alexander's issue worsened, Babylon changed from the royal funds directly into the stress container prepared towards explode. Beyond this residence doors, a large number regarding Macedonian troops, experts regarding the 10 years regarding conquest, collected inside growing audiences. These people had been this guys whom experienced implemented Alexander via deserts, throughout icy hill passes, plus directly into this extremely middle regarding empires. These people experienced stage shield towards shield having the woman's inside fight. These people experienced hidden buddies close to the woman's. Plus right now, as being the gossip regarding this declining wellness distribute, these people required the authority towards discover the woman's having his or her personal eye. However, Pedicus plus this additional authorities hesitated, enabling a large number regarding seriously equipped, terrified, grieving troops towards surge this residence might spiral directly into physical violence quickly. This disposition between this rates had been currently unpredictable. Troops worried being deserted inside a international property if the woman's emperor passed away. These people worried rebellion via this ancient Greek contingents. These people worried revenge uprisings via this city's Alexander experienced vanquished. Most importantly, these people worried this not known. Inside Alexander's lack, whom might management these people? Whom might spend these people? Whom might direct these people house? Additional utilized phone additionally reply phrasing shouted regarding parapets. A protector might shout out in line plus the following tower regarding, that reacted having the coordinating phrase. This prevented attackers via softly substituting alternatively executing a guard devoid of recognition. A sole misplaced brick alternatively smuggled implement might transform into a catastrophe. Throughout the fortress, helpers plus inhabitants furthermore required methods regarding demonstrating they belonged. Several dressed badges alternatively medallions. Additional adopted stringent times regarding restriction. Following darkness, perhaps recognizable appearance might be detained till authenticated. These people recognized just what the woman's quiet existence designed. The woman's emperor had been passing away, yet this individual experienced definitely not deserted these people. Even inside pain, this individual possessed respected these people having his/her closing capability, which instant relaxed this troops. However, this didn't resolve this deeper situation. This troops came back towards the woman's areas having despair rather compared to wrath. Yet these people additionally came back having this terrifying understanding which Alexander, this adhesive keeping the woman's substantial empire collectively, would not endure the actual few days. Plus devoid of the woman's, the planet these people experienced developed via bloodstream plus fireplace, had been about towards divide. Through the 10th time regarding fever, Alexander had been hardly mindful. This residence had been full of this perfume regarding incense, whispered hopes, plus this continuous footsteps regarding stressed helpers. His/her authorities crowded this area, encounters pulled having worry plus tiredness. These people required one element previously all, the successor. This empire extended from Greece towards India. Devoid of the obvious surroundings, disorder had not been merely feasible, this had been inescapable. However, Alexander experienced absolutely no genuine mature boy. You remained isolated, frequently frigid, plus staring regarding the perspective regarding intervals, expecting regarding something, whatever, regarding transfer. All framework provided a distinctive perspective. Via the greatest amounts, a lookout might notice communities, timberlands, highways, plus periodically perhaps the shimmer regarding a stream a great distance aside. This all-encompassing perspective created frameworks the fortress's initially notification mechanism. A smoke, a distant dirt wave, or perhaps the shine regarding metallic throughout the brightness might all indicate approaching difficulty. The tension had been huge. Picture regarding the initially individual accountable regarding distinguishing and military prior to this became your surfaces. Missed the signs plus the fortress might possess moments, definitely not intervals, regarding ready. Within the framework, life remained restricted. Material surfaces caught cooler atmosphere, stairwells spiraled firmly, plus arrow apertures permitted barely sufficient room regarding notice plus fire, yet definitely not sufficient regarding remain pleasant. Protectors got opportunities regarding heating their hands regarding modest braziers, attempting to not shed flexibility. This reveals that frostbite remained equally much a danger as all enemy siege apparatus. Yet comfort remained an extravagance. Having which exclusive key phrase, this individual guaranteed which the woman's authorities, experienced, ambitious, plus seriously aggressive, might battle regarding management regarding this empire this individual experience developed. A few afterwards blamed the woman's regarding this. Additional suggested this individual recognized precisely what this individual had been carrying out. His/her buddies had been fighters designed via ages regarding conquest. This individual reliable the woman's capability greater compared to any kind of bloodstream line. Yet his/her authorities desired a lot more. These people collected close to the woman's once more, requesting how his/her memorial must be structured. The suspicious appearance near the tree area? Transfer this. A vendor group approaching? Transfer this. Anything odd regarding the community? Certainly transfer this. Framework protectors turned into specialists regarding examining the geography similar to a residing chart. Despite the aloneness, there was a certain satisfaction throughout framework responsibility. You remained essentially above all, nearer regarding the atmosphere, the climate, plus the initially hints regarding danger. This reveals that framework protectors embodied the fortress's perspectives, plus devoid of them, all additional protection measure might crumble directly into disorder. Beyond this residence, a large number regarding troops required solutions. Inside, the actual maximum highly effective males inside the globe converted toward one another having a sole unspoken issue. Exactly what today? This issue had been enormous. Alexander experienced ruled definitely not merely the actual empire the actual patchwork regarding recently vanquished areas held collectively entirely via his/her attraction plus expert. There is absolutely no recognized method, simply no bureaucratic equipment powerful sufficient towards manage factors on its own. His/her authorities had been brilliant inside battle, however these people experienced by no means required towards handle the substantial planet. Siege equipment had been produced plus in the center regarding the item, the girl unthinkable occurred. Fires distributing via the girl docks plus storage areas. Historic resources vary regarding the way much the girl flames attained, yet one fax echoes via background. Scrolls had been shed. A few state the girl blaze taken in storage areas keeping tens of thousands associated with manuscripts, articles hanging around to be able to enter in the girl collection. Other people declare the girl flames attained auxiliary selections linked to the girl collection. By itself. Regardless of how the girl specifics unfolded. The girl result had been the girl exact same. The girl first excellent hurt inside Alexandria's storage. Trapdoors provided an comparable goal. Certain embodied straightforward wooden sections which might be extracted regarding release opponents directly into pits. Additional had been concealed underneath hay, dirt, alternatively perhaps ornamental flooring. The objective wasn't constantly regarding kill. This embodied regarding divide, postpone, alternatively confuse attackers. Picture operating regarding a fortress hallway, adrenaline pushing, plus abruptly the terrain below you vanishes. This is chaotic, humiliating, plus incredibly productive. Exactly what I personally appreciate concerning all of these components represents the way psychological these people had been. The first period, Alexandria discovered in which suggestions might lose, plus in which despite the girl best memorial associated with individual knowledge had been susceptible to the girl goals associated with males together with blades. The girl collection made it, yet certainly not unchanged. The girl darkness experienced slipped above the item, the girl alerting regarding catastrophes nonetheless ahead. Following Caesar's battle plus Cleopatra's remarkable climb to be able to energy, the girl collection associated with Alexandria proceeded to be able to work. Yet the girl fantastic age group had been fading. The girl organization failed to crumble inside the girl's solitary mourning. Rather, it went directly into the girl extended, agonizing amount of fall, removed aside through causes much more refined compared to flames. The girl globe had been shifting, kingdoms had been changing, plus the girl Tomies had been not any more the girl vibrant, book-starving empire these people when had been. The girl mental motor in which experienced powered Alexandria with regard to hundreds of years had been nevertheless operating, yet the items sputtered much more together with every single era. The girl first issue had been governmental balance. Cleopatra's partnership together with Rome, initially via Caesar plus then simply by way of Mark Antony, positioned Egypt in the middle regarding Roman suspicion. Melga, champion regarding this infantry, declined towards accept Pedicus management. Stress erupted whenever Melega's troops stormed this residence plus threatened this Macedonian authorities, requesting Aratus become crowned instantly. The actual massacre nearly erupted inside this pathways exactly where Alexander experienced rested passing away. Perdiccas reacted ruthlessly. Soon after carefully recovering management, this individual arrested plus executed Meleager. The unmistakable concept towards anybody whom tested the woman's. Yet even this kind of determined work couldn't end this developing breaks. Belief had been eliminated, plus suspicion right now ruled every single discussion. The girl Serapeum had been destroyed, the girl scrolls shed or even spread out. From it vanished the girl final actual remainder regarding the girl collection. But actually it had been certainly not the girl complete finish. The girl mathematician Hypatia, among Alexandria's final fantastic researchers, proceeded instructing into the earlier 500 years. The girl terrible murder through the girl Christian group symbolized a thing more deeply compared to private catastrophe. It noted the girl extinguishing regarding Alexandria's mental flames. Right after the girl passing, the girl town by no means once again offered because the girl globe's scholarly money. Through the period the girl dirt resolved, plus the girl places regarding the girl collection associated with Alexandria lastly dropped peaceful, the girl globe failed to right away realize exactly what the idea experienced shed. Historic metropolitan areas experienced burned up prior to. Temples experienced dropped. Kingdoms experienced crumbled. Yet simply no devastation got previously transported implications quite just like this particular one. The girl collection experienced certainly not already been the girl developing. It had been the girl storage area equipment with regard to civilization. Plus, whenever the item disappeared, complete chapters regarding individual understanding vanished using it. Authorities prayed right here, looking for the fragment regarding Alexander's appeal. Yet because period progressed, the actual burial place's area disappeared through background, consumed through moving fine sand plus metropolitan development. Also these days, this sleeping spot regarding the planet's biggest conqueror continues to be one regarding history's nearly all long-lasting secrets, the emperor without having the burial place. Alexander this excellent passed away youthful, yet his slash her tail declined towards fade. Complete globe background, Phoenician, Carthaginian, Upper African, in which occur right now just like whispers. The girl collection failed to basically retail store publications. It kept options. However, the girl tale is not completely bleak. A few pieces got away. Functions translated inside Alexandria discovered brand new existence inside the girl Islamic fantastic age group, replicated plus conserved inside selections through Baghdad to be able to Cordoba. Ancient language beliefs as soon as prepared plus examined inside Alexandria ultimately energized the girl renaissance. Drinking providers roamed separating stalls having sloshing containers since street fountains didn't remain consistently secure. The area had been enormous, Pipes dripped, plus toxins stayed regular. Fresh consuming substance embodied the gamble. Affordable fermented drink, surprisingly, typically remained more secure compared to drinking substance. That clarifies the reason why quite a few Romans transferred regarding somewhat inebriated prior to midday. All feeling acquired attacked. The clang regarding metallic drinking vessels, the declaration regarding providers, the scent regarding frying seafood alternatively toasting peanuts, the pain regarding smoke via charcoal braziers. Rome remained by no means quiet, by no means continue. Lifeless though the idea had been, the item grew to become the girl expression regarding individual possible, regarding exactly what may be accomplished whenever the girl community beliefs understanding above battle, interest above conquest. The Girl Collection tale offers motivated archaeologists, authors, plus dreamers to think of the girl globe exactly where understanding moves easily plus borders. But the devastation continues to be the girl alerting. Understanding is actually delicate. Suggestions need safety. Selections, though produced regarding rock, may pass away as quickly because the girl individuals that defend these people. If the available atmosphere spots embodied the respiratory system regarding the Roman bazaar, the eating facilities embodied its tummy, reduced, vapor-filled, usually complete, plus usually energetic. All these reduced avenue shops arranged key highways plus back alleys, all one practically inadequate regarding the counter. Several clay containers plus the owner that has been perspiring screaming regarding consumers. It's evident Rome created fast food customs ages prior to contemporary locations. They basically substituted plastic coverings having wooden containers plus replaced beverage regarding affordable diluted fermented drink. To the majority of communities, it had been the girl phrase, the girl exile through household, neighborhood, plus also humankind by itself. Yet the girl purchase regarding Saint Lazarus, the girl renowned Lazarites, defied in which destiny totally. These people had been certainly not hidden away or even removed from presence. These people had been event, prepared, equipped, plus provided the girl objective in which mixed beliefs, recovery, plus peaceful armed forces bravery. The girl eco-friendly mix, stitched to the girl cloaks, grew to become the girl expression regarding each battling plus sanctity, marking these folks since males which went along with passing away yet failed to take a bow to be able to the idea. This existed inside every single tale regarding conquest, every single chart regarding historic magnificence, plus every single desire regarding attaining the particular difficult. Inside the tough valleys plus wooded hills regarding historical Uria, spirituality had not been limited to walled temples plus marble sanctuaries. This resided inside the available atmosphere, inside the rustling regarding historical oaks, inside the echo regarding waterfalls, plus inside the gusts which passed throughout limestone cliffs. This embodied a property exactly where Mother Nature itself had been regarded as divine, exactly where this line involving the human being globe plus this world regarding spirits plus forebears experienced slim sufficient towards contact. Plus standing at the middle regarding which psychological landscape had been this Irian priestesses. These types of females had been significantly more compared to routine helpers. These people had been intermediaries among clans plus this unseen causes which designed the woman's life. The scent regarding sizzling beef, frying meals, plus flavored chickpeas packed the atmosphere therefore thickly which perhaps the deities regarding Mount Olympus might experience envious. Rome embodied this location which operated regarding avenue meals, definitely not since individuals appreciated ease, yet since the majority possessed absolutely no cooking areas. What stands out is I believe the Romans currently improved the art of grab-and-go years prior to this turned into the contemporary sensation. Providers prepared regarding movable braziers, giving curls regarding smoke directly into the warm, dusty highways. The greatest crowd pleasers had been straightforward yet delicious. This keepers regarding psychological stability inside the property exactly where Mother Nature plus divinity had been inseparable. Divination rested in the center regarding Irian priestess customs. Towards realize this may regarding the spirits, the priestesses converted definitely not towards scrolls plus carved inscriptions, yet towards this residing components regarding the all-natural globe. This Arians considered this world communicated consistently inside the rustle regarding results in the motion regarding smoke cigarettes, this path regarding breeze, this crackling regarding fireplace. The duty regarding the priestess had been towards pay attention. Breeze embodied one regarding the greatest sacred messengers. When the Roman community existed the governmental neural system regarding the nation, in that case the avenue bazaars remained the defeating, chaotic middle. Regarding proceed via a person embodied the complete submission regarding the capabilities. Picture, seem, scent, the majority overwhelmed during the time that. It's evident a period vacationer might survive regarding 5 instants prior to pleading regarding earplugs plus refreshing atmosphere. The sound happened initially. Providers yelling costs. Bakers hollering which the meals was still comfortable. Throughout significant festivals, the priestess would certainly spread natural herbs, juniper, sage, thyme, plus crazy hill blooms into the fireplace. Every single vegetation created the various fragrance plus smoking cigarette structure, enabling the woman's towards translate levels regarding significance. Smoking cigarettes drifting toward the actual Eastern had been connected towards brand new starts. Smoking cigarettes swirling downwards recommended hidden risk. Villagers viewed inside breathless quiet while the priestess searched designs inside the smoking cigarettes, murmuring invocations towards ancestor spirits. Yet possibly the best dramatic rite included getting into the trance beside the sacred flame. A person instant you had been compressed, separating a couple of females managing containers regarding the mines. Another, a fighter slashed directly via the middle regarding the avenue comparable to this individual possessed the location that to become reasonable Romans type of thought fighters performed. This reveals that browsing Roman bazaars should have identification regarding an Olympic game. Preventing providers, traveling regarding spilled olives, preventing loosened poultry. Your reflexes needed to become intense. Aromas layered on their own similar to the complicated fragrance removed terribly incorrect. It had been right here, below flickering lamps plus the girl awesome breathing of the girl evening, in which the girl brothers looked for certainly not delivery through illness, yet the girl durability to be able to sustain the idea. The girl vigil started out inside silence. The girl knights filed directly into the girl chapel 1 through 1, shifting gradually, a few leaning about carved wooden personnel, other people guided through brothers which fingertips experienced certainly not however eliminated numb. The girl chapel had been dark, illuminated together with just a couple of candles, the girl fires dancing carefully towards the girl rock surfaces. A tale communicator obtained an audience having stories regarding heroes simply regarding get blocked out via the passing cart regarding containers. All moment anything brand new occurred. Yet beneath the frustrating seam plus clutter, the bazaar possessed tempo nearly similar to the residing organism. Folks relied regarding this chaos regarding continue. This provided them, used them, entertained them, attached them. Indeed, Roman bazaars had been loud, filthy, plus exhausting. Yet they additionally embodied dynamic, communal, plus filled regarding individual capacity. Additionally, personally, they embodied the closest point the traditional globe possessed regarding an area's heart. Uncooked, unfiltered, plus living. When the Roman Avenue Bazaar embodied the residing organism, next thieves embodied the parasites connecting regarding the exterior. Consistent, wise, plus difficult regarding remove. Petty crime didn't embody the aspect impact regarding bazaar presence. This embodied created directly into this. Throughout countless regarding physiques loaded collectively plus gold handbags hanging regarding connections, the location embodied a paradise regarding pickpockets. What stands out is I believe Roman thieves deserved the diploma throughout unlawful creativity since several of the approaches had been disturbingly amazing. The greatest typical thieves embodied young adults. Periodic festivals amplified the woman's part. Throughout the winter season solstice, whenever the range involving planets had been thought to slim, the priestess directed night-extended festivals regarding torches plus rhythmic chants. The entire group involved, invoking ancestral security regarding the actual arriving season. This girl led these people inside dances which symbolized revival, success, plus group energy. Every single motion, Every single chant reinforced the concept that the forebears had been viewing, plus which the woman's support decided this tribe's potential. Inside Aryan perception, the community devoid of the woman's forebears embodied the physique devoid of the woman's spirit. Plus the priestess embodied the one whom made certain which relationship by no means broke. This girl protected this unseen bridge involving earlier plus existing, offering condition plus significance towards the actual tribe's personality via ages. Whilst Aryan priestesses had been famous regarding divination plus ancestral customs, yet another aspect regarding the woman's expert rested inside the woman's heavy understanding of vegetation, treatments, plus conventional recovery. When you decreased these regarding the genuine Roman bazaar regarding 5 instants, 50% might pass out. Additionally, the additional 50% might operate returning regarding the period device. Let us begin with the highways on their own. Rome possessed countless regarding countless citizens, yet absolutely no garbage vehicles, absolutely no sewer gates, plus absolutely no town-wide washing routine. Waste piled up regarding sections. Meals particles decayed regarding rocks plus roaming creatures roamed regarding adding the possessed presence. Put into spilled fermented drink, seafood guts, individual waste. These people handled everything via fractured your bones plus contaminated injuries towards childbirth problems plus snake bites. Hunters depended on these people regarding antidotes towards venom. Warriors trusted the woman's bombs towards avoid disease soon after fight. Actually, authorities wanted the woman's assistance regarding lingering sicknesses. Curing periods usually happened close to operating drinking water plus inside wooden temples, exactly where the atmosphere alone improved the psychological aspect regarding healing. But recovery by no means stayed solely actual. Regarding the Aryans, disease experienced psychological plus psychological leads to 2. These people had been fighters simply because these people proceeded to be able to fight towards illness, despair, plus the girl's sluggish fading regarding the girl's entire body. The girl's self-control had not been with regard to durability. It had been with regard to opposition. Inside many medieval purchases, food period had been the girl easy program, nourishment with regard to the girl's entire body prior to returning to be able to function or even petition. Yet with regard to the girl Lazarites, dishes had been the girl's sacred ritual, one in which mixed practicality, compassion, plus the girl profound feeling regarding equality. The girl extended wooden platforms had been organized inside the girl SQ, the girl style designed to guarantee every single guy might observe every single additional. Not one person rested concealed, not a soul eaten by yourself. The girl chaplain provided the girl quick blessing, certainly not looking with regard to recovery, yet with regard to persistence plus gratitude. Let this meal strengthen what remains unharmed within us. It had been the girl note in which the girl spirits, certainly not the girl systems, had been the girl accurate recipients regarding nourishment. Dishes had been straightforward yet thoughtfully ready. Broths abundant with natural herbs soothed swollen necks. Smooth bread dunked inside essential oil needed little gnawing. Darling drinking water eased discomfort. Individuals which hands experienced grow to be firm had been offered through the girl brothers. The girl purchase regarded this the girl honor, certainly not the girl problem. To be able to give yet another guy, particularly one exhausted through leprosy, had been to be able to verify the girl humanity. Inside the girl eating region, the girl space loaded together with peaceful discussion. A few talked about beliefs or even viewpoint. Other people talked about the girl people, right now remote or even eliminated. Every single brother, regardless of the girl's severity regarding the girl's situation, had been section of the girl communal beat. Inside these types of dishes, the girl Lazarites produced the girl peaceful, stubborn type of opposition. The girl globe might possess noted these people regarding dying, yet inside these types of surfaces, these people tasted dignity, one spoonful each and every time. Whenever darkness negotiated more than the girl leprosarium, plus many of the girl brothers rested, the girl little team continued conscious regarding one of the girl purchase's many solemn obligations, the girl evening view. It had been certainly not armed service vigilance inside the girl conventional feeling. Not a soul military services armies stood waiting away from the girl surfaces. Rather, the girl evening view protected a thing much more delicate compared to area. The girl life, dreads, plus closing occasions regarding males which systems had been gradually letting them down. With regard to the girl leper nights, to be able to maintain view during the night had been to be able to honor battling together with existence, certainly not together with swords. The girl view started out quickly following the girl closing prayers. A few brothers had been selected every single night, switching therefore in which not one person transported the girl problem as well usually. The girl watchers transferred silently, pausing in every single mattress to be able to guarantee the girl sleeper nonetheless respired. These people modified bedding, dabbed salves to the girl cracked pores and skin, whispered prayers directly into ears as well fragile to be able to react. All of these actions had been tiny, yet for the girl purchase tiny kindnesses mattered much more compared to just about any battle triumph. Beyond the girl residing areas rested the girl backyard route exactly where the girl watchers went to distinct the girl minds. Via these people, the woman action regarding typical existence plus joined this sacred route, reborn because the boat regarding divine understanding. Initiation frequently started throughout the evening beneath the glow regarding this moon. This moon had been regarded as the symbol regarding woman capability plus psychological quality. Older priestesses directed the woman into the clearing inside the wooden sanctuary exactly where simply the particular crackling regarding the tiny flame disrupted this quiet. This woman wore basic clothes woven from undyed wool showing wholesomeness, humbleness, plus willingness. The girl eco-friendly mix glowed faintly inside the girl moonlight via tinted cup home windows. The girl watchers knelt, providing prayers, certainly not with regard to durability inside battle, yet with regard to durability to be able to proceed executing the girl peaceful assistance. It had been simple to be able to swing the girl sword. It had been much more challenging to be able to notice battling evening after evening minus switching aside. Through sunrise, the girl watchers came back to be able to the girl mattresses, tired, yet content. The girl responsibility wasn't heroic inside the girl conventional feeling. It had been simple, constant, plus profoundly human. While the particular warmth cleaned more than the woman's, plus this chance increased, the woman joined the trance designed to expose the woman's psychological perspective. A few explained visions regarding forebears plus luminous numbers. Additional experience the woman's drifting via woodlands plus hills. These types of visions had been regarded as by older priestesses who made the decision whether the woman's possessed this range required regarding priestly duties. When the woman succeeded, this girl obtained ceremonial brands, usually the spiral plus wave-like image decorated on the woman's biceps and triceps plus temple utilizing ash plus natural paste. Comfortable drinking water combined with natural herbs had been poured more than the girl hands and fingers. Encounter, plus foot actually if this individual might not really feel the girl contact. The idea symbolized the girl group's guarantee. You will not depart the girl globe unseen. Right after cleansing, the girl brother had been dressed up inside the girl clean tunic, tinted together with the girl faint eco-friendly line. Vibrant shades had been prevented. Humbleness guided every single element. The girl eco-friendly, understated but undeniable, noted the girl belonging to be able to the girl purchase regarding Saint Lazarus, actually inside dying. As soon as dressed, this individual had been guided, usually backed through a couple of brothers, directly into the girl chapel, exactly where the girl group regarding nights waited for the girl hymn. The girl best of the girl fading integrated simply no amazing sermons. Rather, the girl chaplain asked the girl fading guy to be able to talk whenever this individual needs. A few provided thoughts regarding fights battled prior to illness claimed the girl durability. Other people talked about people remaining, regarding regrets, regarding surprising serenity discovered among males that recognized the girl battling. Yet many basically shut the girl's sight plus paid attention, pleased to be able to end up being encircled through the girl vocals regarding the girl brothers. After that arrived the girl putting about hands. One through one, every single night advanced, putting the girl hands, at times the girl scarred one, at times the girl trembling one, about the girl fading brothers make. Inside in which minute, no one experienced embarrassed regarding the girl injuries. Injuries had been the girl extremely connection these people distributed. The girl get in touch with symbolized unity, the girl closing note in which this individual connected to these people plus these people to be able to the girl. The girl closing petition adopted. May your suffering end and your courage remain with us. The girl fading brother had been after that used rear to be able to the girl mattress exactly where this individual might commit the girl closing hours or even times observed by simply individuals that respected the girl inside silence. With regard to the girl Lazarites, the girl best of the girl fading guaranteed in which not a soul entered the girl tolerance by itself. The girl globe experienced abandoned all of them a long time in the past, yet these people experienced by no means abandoned one yet another. With regard to many medieval fighters, marching directly into battle designed considering the girl likelihood regarding success. With regard to the girl leper knights, the girl computation had been various. These people marched, understanding dying currently existed inside all of them, improving peacefully below the girl skin area. The girl certainty offered the girl purchase the girl unusual, practically unsettling bravery. Males that have currently recognized dying failed to concern the idea about the girl battleground. Plus therefore, whenever the girl purchase regarding St. Lazarus rode directly into struggle, hardly ever plus usually inside hopeless occasions, these people transported the girl existence in which nerved actually veteran warriors. The girl illness designed almost everything with regards to the girl planning. Just before just about any march, the girl brothers executed the girl ritual as opposed to regarding just about any additional armed service purchase. The girl blessing regarding the girl declining flesh. Every single night got before the girl chaplain, whom followed the girl little eco-friendly mix above fragile people, numb hands and fingers, enlarged bones, sight starting to be able to fog up. The girl blessing recognized exactly what all of them recognized. All of these systems had been fragile, unpredictable, plus frequently agonizing. But every single had been nevertheless able to assistance. What happens to be able to the girl purchase produced through males currently passing away as soon as the girl globe close to all of them techniques ahead. The girl Lazarites failed to disappear completely inside the girl's solitary spectacular collapse. Rather, resembling many of the girl brothers on their own, these people faded gradually, peacefully, departing at the rear of the girl heritage much more religious compared to armed service. The girl fall started out because remedies with regard to leprosy enhanced plus isolation regulations softened. Handful of afflicted males selected the girl purchases sanctuary. Fortresses plus medical centers as soon as loaded with the girl's solemn possibility of ill nights grew to become sparsely filled. But actually because the girl amounts reduced, the girl rituals these people produced, the girl cleansing regarding affliction, the girl vigil regarding the girl eco-friendly mix, the girl evening view, the girl best regarding the girl fading, continued guarded inside manuscripts plus thoughts. Monks replicated the girl liturgies. Doctors documented the girl health-related procedures, acknowledging in which all of these knights, though untrained through colleges, experience discovered to be able to soothe battling together with remarkable understanding. Yet the girl character regarding the girl aged purchase, the girl humbleness, the girl solidarity, the girl refusal to be able to let battling remove dignity continued inserted inside the girl identification. Nowadays, the girl Lazarites make it through mostly inside tales, manuscripts, plus the girl faded layers regarding hands guarded inside aged chapels. But the girl peaceful bravery continues to resonate. These people tell us in which bravery is not usually discovered inside triumph or even conquest. Often the idea is placed inside persistence, inside choosing to be able to remain collectively whenever the girl globe actions rear inside concern. The girl systems unsuccessful these people. The girl heritage failed too.